Is there something you love doing? Something, if you could do all the time, or whenever you liked, that would be so wonderful. You wouldn't have a care in the world. Now when you see little children playing without a care in the world, does that remind you of your own childhood and things you used to love doing? Like holidays, or birthday parties, or playing games, or being with your best friend. Or perhaps that gives you great pleasure and reminds you of things you love doing nowadays, like your favourite hobby or pastime, or spending time with family, or perhaps of things you'd love to do in the future, like travelling, or making new friends, or catching up with old friends. And you can think of all these things as things you love doing. And I'd invite you to think about them right now. Now, what is it about that? As you focus on these questions and allow your mind to wander wherever it likes and become completely absorbed in any situation or activity or any thought or feeling or emotion, whenever it likes, or completely absorbed in a number of situations or activities, thoughts, feelings or emotions, or none. It doesn't really matter. Is there some way you love feeling and never feel any way else, all the time? Or even better, you can't help feeling that nothing in the world is a bother. Is there something you love achieving? Something, if you could achieve all the time, or whenever you want, that would be so incredible. Nothing would be impossible. Is there some way you love relaxing when there's nothing else you have to do? Some way, if you feel the need or the desire, you can feel so comfortable all the time with all your cares dissolved. And as you continue focusing on these questions and allowing your mind to wander wherever it likes or whenever it likes, becoming completely absorbed in some comfortable feeling, sometimes that feeling can be so much more pronounced than the memory of its circumstances. And that's okay. Is there somewhere you love walking when there's nowhere else you have to be? Somewhere, if you could be there all the time, or whenever you felt like it, that would be so enjoyable, so free. Is there some way you love to be? Some way when there's nowhere else you have to be? If you could be that way all the time, that would be so wonderful and free. Is there something you love hearing when there's nothing else you want to hear? Something so beautiful that if you could hear it all the time, that would be so wonderful, without a doubt. And as you continue doing that, you can notice your heart beating more slowly. Is there something you love seeing? Something, if you could see nothing else when you see it, or if you could see everything else the same way, all the time, that would be so beautiful. Is there something you love admiring? Something so gorgeous, if you could never stop admiring it all the time, that too would be so gorgeous. No question. Is there something that makes you grateful? Something so nice, if you could never stop appreciating it, or if you could appreciate everything else no less all the time, that would be so wonderful. And as you continue doing that, you can notice your blood pressure easing. Is there something that gives you calm and confidence? Something so reassuring, if you could never stop feeling that, or if you could feel that way without a fear, all the time, that would be so good. Is there something that gives you strength? Something, if you could never stop receiving that, or if you could receive that from everything else, all the time, that would be so amazing. Is there something that makes your day? Something that if you could have that happen all the time, or whenever you want, you could feel so wonderful, without a care in the world. And as you continue doing that, you can notice your muscles becoming more and more relaxed. Is there something you love talking about? Something, if you could talk about all the time, or whenever it came up, that would be so wonderful, so liberating. Is there something you love listening to when there's nothing else you want to hear? Something so harmonious that if you could do that all the time, that would be so wonderful, without a doubt. Is there something you love dreaming about? Something so gorgeous, if you could never stop dreaming about it all the time, that too would be so gorgeous, no question. And as you continue doing that, you may notice your entire body and mind becoming more and more relaxed. Is there something that gives you more happiness when you want to accept no more unhappiness? Something, if you could accept all the time, not unhappily, that would be so acceptable. Is there some time special you love enjoying when there's nothing else you have to do? Or some time when you can feel so comfortable all the time, with all your cares dissolved? Is there some place you love going when there's nowhere else you have to be? Some place, if you could be there all the time, or whenever you felt like it, you could feel so free, as you do that, you may notice a feeling that your body and your mind is healing itself. Is there something you love doing? Something that if you could do all the time or whenever you want, you could feel so wonderful without a care in the world? Is there something that fills you with joy? Something, if you could never stop receiving that, or if you could receive that from everything else all the time, that would be so amazing. Is there something that gives you pleasure? Something, if you could see nothing else when you see it, or if you could see everything else the same way all the time, that would be so beautiful. And as you continue doing that, you may notice that feeling permeating through your whole body and mind. Is there something that fills you with wonder or curiosity? Something, if you could do nothing else, or as you continue to become focused and absorbed in it, something that is so wonderful, you may notice your breathing has slowed down, your body so relaxed, your mind feels so carefree. Is there something you love to think about? If there's nothing you need to do, as you continue to breathe more slowly and deeply, take a deep, slow breath. Hold it for just a moment and then let it go very slowly. Is there something you love to notice? If there's nothing else you need to notice, as you take another 2 or 3 deep, slow breaths, or perhaps you love to notice the beautiful relaxing effect of your slow breathing, relaxing your muscles, dilating your blood vessels, so oxygen can be absorbed and your blood can flow so much more freely throughout your whole body, clarifying your thinking, healing your body and your mind. and you can do anything you like. And all you have to do is take another deep, slow breath and think about something you love doing.